LPT, if you're ever not sure what to do, clean. When you figure out what you should be doing, you'll have a clear workspace. LPT, guys, if you're in the drugstore, buy a 10-pack $2 of those black hair rubber bands and keep them in your glove box. I've been the hero to countless women this way. I had an ex-girlfriend who was always losing those black scrunchy rubber band hair ties, so I bought her a 10-pack on the condition that I keep them in my truck. She went through a few, but many times I'm with other girls and I see them fret about their hair when it's hot or windy, or worse, can you take me to the store, I need hair bands. Oh hell no. Actually I have some new ones in my truck. 100 points for this guy. LPT, if you feel uncomfortable in social situations, memorize about 10 questions which most people would be happy to answer. If you're nervous, rely on your basket of questions to get people talking about themselves. Questions you can ask: what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? Where did you grow up? What was it like? Where was the last place you went on vacation? Who did you go with? Where would you like to go? What do your parents do? Are you watching a TV series right now? What was your fav one in the last few years? Note how I didn't list the question, what do you do for work? If they want to talk about it, they will. Many people don't define themselves by their work. They define themselves by what they do outside of work. So inquire about those things. They will want to talk to you about them and will in turn be curious about you because you are asking interesting questions. LPT, if you're writing an essay and need to proofread it. Copy and paste your document to naturalreaders.com so that an automated voice can read it out loud. This way, you can catch mistakes easier and faster. You can also adjust the voice of the person reading it, as well as the speed. I use this as the last step in proofreading my essays, because even after reading them out loud myself, I always miss something. There's a daily 20-minute reading limit, so for longer essays it might not work. However, you can increase this by paying monthly for it. Also another website, ttsreader.com. Let's get those A's, everyone. Edit, thank you for my first award. Also, tie to everyone posting other alternatives in the comments. I usually use Google Docs because I don't have Word, and Google Translate has a text limit, so I have to look for other websites. I also don't pay the monthly fee for the websites either, but the free version is a nicer alternative than reading my essays out loud for the 50th time. LPT, hit S while watching Netflix on a computer to skip the intro. I absolutely hate having to move my cursor or my mouse to skip the intro, and hitting S is super easy and quick. God bless for the skip intro button though. LPT, if you want to save your job, don't share anything with your coworkers that could be frowned upon by your managers no matter how much you trust them. Not worth the risk. LPT, if you're feeling anxious, worried about something, try saying your fear out loud in the funniest, most ridiculous voice you can manage. It can help give your anxiety an unreliable character, making it seem less real or scary, especially if you're prone to irrational fears. It can also help to give your anxiety an unreliable visual in your head. I imagine my anxiety to be Alex Jones. LPT, prioritize saving money. Don't wait until you're almost at your next payday to put money away. Treat your savings account like you would a bill payment. As soon as you get paid, put X amount of dollars into an account that you don't touch. Not only will this make your savings grow faster, it will help you budget, live within your means, and not waste your money on pointless things. LPT, get your haircut about 3 days before you renew your driver's license. That way you always have a photo to show the barber, stylist. I'm a frugal guy that knows hair, if you have it, grows back. I usually go for cheap on the cuts, which leads me to chain or simple cut locations. It's nice to be able to pull out my ID to show them my desired do. LPT, if you live in a bigger city, buy a cheap bicycle and a lock for it that costs more than your actual bike. People always ask me how I manage that my bicycle never got stolen during all my time as a student and beyond. I bought a really old one second-hand for about $30. It had some issues, but you can either try fixing them yourselves, can recommend all kind of YouTube videos, all the resources you need are out there, or bring them into a bike shop, those aren't too cost-intensive also. Anyhow, then I bought a bicycle lock for $60. I really recommend thick chains instead of those interwoven metal wires locks. They are so easily cut with a bolt cutter. Basically those are zip ties with extra steps, and it was one of the best investments I ever did. During all my time as a student, I only relied on my bicycle to get to university, to work, basically just anywhere. One would argue that $90 in total is pretty much money, especially for a student. Think of it as a long-time investment. On the one hand, you get a lot of fresh air, and on the other hand, you will most likely not need a ticket for most cases for your subway, buses, so you save a lot of money on those. This might not apply to every major city, but most I've been to have lots of infrastructure for your trusty steed, so maybe this will help some of you as well.